Greetings and thanks for watching. My name is Benson and I'm going to talk about assessment for senior students with jobs. We are all aware that unemployment is a big issue in this country. In fact, many young people are out there looking for jobs. Our senior students are always telling us that they are looking for jobs so that they may start their careers and they may attempt to be economically stable. And in fact, university ranking in this country is determined by job placement of the graduates. So the more students we have there in the job market, the better for this school. The current status is that if a student, for example in my class, gets a job, he is exempted from attending classes. But of course, the student has to fulfill 3 requirements. One, he has to show me as his instructor certificate of employment. He has to show me a request for class exemption form, which I have to sign to approve his request. So what about grading? How do we grade these students? It has been a trend in this school that a student requests for a minimum passing grade, which is usually a C, and the professor will determine whether to give or no. Secondly, some instructors will have students do assignments, and upon submitting the assignments, the professor will give a grade. Others will have their students sit for midterm and final exams, and then the professor will grade them appropriately upon the outcome of the results or the score. Is it fair enough? Well, last semester I had an experience where a student came to me and asked why I made him to sit or to do a couple of assignments. Then I had him sit for the midterm exam and also the final exam, while his friends in another class was just given a minimum passing grade without doing anything, without attending class, without submitting any assignment. And this kept me thinking, because I asked myself, is the current status right? And what is the best way to deal with the issue fairly for all the students? So I came up with 2 suggestions. One, we have to have a policy which is agreeable across all the departments, and this framework has to be built collaboratively with all the heads of departments, all the faculty, so that we have something to work with fairly. Again, we have to work with employers because they need to understand the nature of students' requirement for graduation. I'm sure they understand that these are students and they need to be trained well. They need to complete their studies so that they may perform their work even appropriately. Looking at it in a bigger picture, is that we still have bigger questions to wrestle with. One is, what is our motivation? Is it just to send out our graduates to the job market for employment, upon which we'll be competitive enough and get good ranking as an institution? Or is our interest in training the students holistically so that when they go out there, they are ready to perform their work? So we still have bigger issues to talk about even before we go to smaller issues. For example, the distance between the place of work and the school. For example, a teacher like me who gives or have my students do assignments and sit for final exam. What if the student has to travel abroad during the exam period? So we have a lot of things to discuss, but this is just a starting point. It was a concern for me, and I hope that we are all going to engage in so that we may have a proper framework that is fair for all students, fair for all faculty, that will ensure the success of all students. Thank you.